Welcome back to BYU Football Media Day 2022 on BYU Sports Nation. This is your day-to-day play-by-play. In Studio B, I am Spencer Linton, teamed up alongside Jerome Jordan. We had a fantastic first hour of the show, but because we are celebrating Media Day and the finale of these Media Days in Independence, why not go 2 hours and do so with an A-list
We wanted
guest
three.
lineup?
They said only two. Only two. Come on.
Okay, if you missed hour number one, don't worry, you can go back and watch it. Included our interviews with head coach Kalani Sitake, athletic director Tom Holmoe, some great football players, Jaron Hall, D'Angelo Mandel. We just talked to John Beck. And now we open up hour number two with the defensive coordinator, Ilaisa Tuiaki. I just mentioned to him, we need that spark. We need that power bump in the middle of our 2 hours. That's why we brought you in, because you're the guy. You go hard. You go one speed, right?
Only one speed. That's all I know.
Is that how you call the games, too?
No.
Hold out blitz. How many times do fans come up and be like, we need to blitz more?
We need to blitz more. Okay. Yeah.
You're like, yes, and give up a touchdown. Yeah, come on.
Well, let's start the conversation there, because it obviously when fans are watching, they're like, well, why can't they always just get to the quarterback and sack the quarterback? It's like, I wish it were that simple. But
because they get the ball out fast in 2022.
You have mentioned just disruptive plays and creating chaos. How does your defense in 2022 going to best create the most chaos? If it's not quarterback sacks alone, which it's not, how are they going to create the most chaos?
Oh man, that's a good question, and it's a developing question with just all the things that we're learning. You know, we actually just A-Rod, Ed and I and Kalani, we just had a 2-hour discussion just about our last season with our analytics team. And, some of the things that you factor in as far as just what you think matters and what doesn't matter and all that stuff. I mean, just we study it and we go round and round and round about, okay, what's important, what do we need to do? And so even, just calling the game and just different things like that is just, it's a lot of it's changing just through the years. And so in answer to your question, no, we got to be better at everything that we're doing, but we're certainly looking at different angles of just how to be better on defense.
What are some of those things that stuck out that matter and that don't matter, analytically and metrically?
Okay, so going back, everybody always brings up sacks for some reason, right? But so in 2014, we led the country in sacks, right, at the University of Utah when Kalani was the coordinator. About 4.5 sacks per game is what you're going to end up setting, right? There are several factors that go into that, in order for you to get that many. So we played, I think, 7 of the quarterbacks in the Pac-12 that year were all NFL guys, right? And so the offenses that you face are a little bit more, everyone's throwing more.
Pass heavy.
Okay, the quarterbacks that you're facing, too, are a lot more like, I'm not going to throw an incompletion, I'd rather take a sack. And that helps as well, right? Mm-hmm. So we played.
Because their numbers.
UCLA's guy, we sacked him 10 times.
Josh Rosen.
It wasn't him. It was the one before him.
Okay.
That guy.
Huntley.
Oh yeah, Brett
okay.
Huntley.
Yeah. So anyways, but that plays a factor into it, right? So the type of offenses that you're playing, but also almost every single one of those games came down to like the last drive. And so when you're playing more 2-minute drills, you're going to get more sacks, right? Okay, so reeling it back and looking at it, okay? 4.5 sacks a game. If you're playing 80 snaps a game, okay, you play a little bit more than that. Sometimes you play fewer, but
is that the average now? Defensively,
75 to 80. I mean, it's just
Okay.
It is a lot. It is a lot. If you're playing I'm just kind of ballparking. If you're playing 80 snaps a game, and about 50% of those are passes, you're seeing 40 passes, right? Okay, if you're getting 4.5 sacks a game and you're leading the country in sacks, what's happening on the other 36 snaps? Passes, right? If everything is geared towards just getting sacks, defensive ends rush upfield and they get washed, and you get big throwing windows for the quarterback. And so for us, it's been a more of a focus on frontal rush. It's been more of a focus on yards per attempt. So if you're 5 yards per attempt, you're kicking butt. You feel pretty good about it because now you're getting batted balls, you're getting quarterback checkdowns, you're getting fewer big plays and all those things. And so, I want sacks more than the next person. Trust me. Believe you me. Okay? But not at the cost of what our defense could be. And I think that we could be really, when we were healthy, we're beating Utah, we're beating Arizona, we're beating Arizona State, and really, really good teams, right? And then when the teams that we lost to, okay, if you look at all the teams that we lost to, it really wasn't about getting to the quarterback. It's about stopping the run. And so that's been a focus for us as far as just coaches and just personnelling things, scheming things, and just changing things to, okay, we got to make sure that we're stopping the runs against some of these teams that are really good. We did it early. We lost some depth and maybe changed some things schematically just because of moves that we've done. And looking at those things is what we need to do for this next year.
I just feel like I learned a billion things in that 2-minute response. That was so insightful.
Okay, so you're saying sacks.
I told you we go hard right now.
So are you saying sacks don't matter as much as you think?
They matter. Okay, so
Sure.
like you know,
but as much as you'd think?
Yeah. So SMU led the country in sacks, I think, 3 years ago. They were number 117 in scoring defense. It's just, you know what I mean? Like,
it doesn't calculate.
The number one stat. How many points do you allow?
The number one stat that matters in the game of football is scoring. That's it, right? And so all the other stuff matters, and there's some kind of correlation, but how much does it correlate? Sure. How much are you going to put stock into it? And really some of it kind of changes depending on how the game's going, right? If you're down 2 scores in the fourth quarter, it's time to up the aggression. And so, okay, we're gonna give one up, but we're probably gonna get a couple of takeaways too. It's like that, and you can't do that all the time just because you're gonna be facing that scenario all the time. And so I mean, the scenarios change throughout the game. You know what I mean? And so you've got to change the way that you look at things. You've got to change the way that you do things. And it's just important for us to look at it intelligently and say, okay, this matters a little bit more than this in this situation. Let's just make sure that we focus on what matters and try to win the game. That's it, right? Like, nobody wants to walk away like 10 sacks, but we lost. Yeah. No. We want to win.
Like, at the end of the day, against Virginia, you give up a gajillion yards and points, but you made stops in the fourth quarter to win.
That's right? The name of the game, right? Where it's like, okay, to your point, we blitzed a lot when we were giving up a lot of points. It was kind of like, when you're looking down your call sheet, you're like, oh, nothing works. Let's up the aggression. Oh, big play after big play after big play. Then it's like, okay, let's reel it back. Drop eight, which is, when you're looking at aggression, everybody thinks that's it, but it's a little bit more like, okay, this is the most aggressive coverage, right? Instead of the aggressive rush.
Yes, and chaos can happen from that. You can pick the ball off.
Absolutely.
Like, more easily,
Yep.
Peyton Wilgar loves the drop 8. He's been the benefactor of that on several occasions.
Oh, my gosh. So you can go back to all the backers that have played here. It's like you get so many tackles because you're getting checkdowns.
Yes.
You get so many of those picks and all those things. So.
Keenan Peely's like, yes, 17 tackles again.
Please.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Ilaisa Tuiaki, the defensive coordinator for BYU, is with us on BYU Sports Nation. Fantastic
defensive masterclass
thus far.
Let's go.
Yeah, seriously. Kalani Sitake keeps referencing, tongue-in-cheek mostly, I believe, that the defensive line is sick and tired of hearing about how good the offensive line is. And he's like, you watch. They're angry. They're tired of this. They're going to come out and ball out. Do you buy into that a little bit, that there's that competition brewing within your own team?
Okay, that's something that the D line probably needs to learn that I learned when in the years that I've been here. This is BYU. This is offensive land. That's what matters, right? And so it's okay. Our D line and O line, I mean, they go back and forth. They're both really, really good players on both sides. And so I think our O line competitively. Our O-line and D-line are competitive against each other when it comes to that, but on game day, they are so just geeked up for each other, backing up each other, just so happy when another one makes a play, and it's like that. And I think, the O-line deserves a lot of credit. I've been around a lot of O-lines, good O-lines. This O-line is amazing. This O-line's really, really good.
It's very exciting. It's funny because I was in
And so is this D-line.
Yeah.
So is I'm telling you, the D-line.
Yeah.
So the D-line, I was talking with Coach Hadley, and I kind of texted him with just the projected depth chart. And I was like, okay, we're like 3.5 deep, and I feel good about any of these guys getting into the game. And so, but the ones right now, Batty, Caden, Gumby, and
Gumby is Gabe Summers.
Earl.
Yep.
I mean, those four, when they were in together, it's really, really disruptive.
Okay.
And Lorenzo's coming back for another year, right?
Zoe comes back.
Very exciting.
Nice's back. I mean, the 4 young guys, now that I'm thinking about it.
Say all their names for those.
Blake Mangelson, John Nelson, Josh Larson, Hunter Greer. Alema Peely just moved over, and he had a really, really good last 2 weeks of spring. I mean, he's just, I think he's flourishing at the D line.
You got so much experience too. We were talking with D'Lo about D'Angelo Mandel about the secondary. guys who played against Wisconsin in 2018 are still on this team,
That's right.
making plays, who have been through 7-6, 7. Now the 11-1, now the 10-3. Like, they're ready for this schedule and this experience. And then you've added really nice pieces in Caleb Hayes and Gabe Judy Lally, and it feels like a really nice group. What do you think?
I think so. It's last year, and everyone brought back their 2020 class, right? Because everybody, you had the option to leave or come back. Majority of the teams that we faced, they had super seniors, right? The Baylors and everybody. We didn't. All of our guys went to the draft, and so we played with a really, really young team. So I feel like, okay, we've got a lot of experience coming back. Everybody's losing a lot of experience, and I feel like we're just in a good place right now.
That's awesome.
We know you have a great relationship with Kalani, and you go way back. And frankly, you could probably help him out with the changes that are about to happen in his life, welcoming a new infant into the world.
You have 7 children, Ilaisa. You know what you're doing.
What's the best bit of advice you can offer to him as he begins this new journey again, welcoming a baby into the world?
You've got to get a babysitter and go on a date more often than you did before.
Wait, isn't Sky the babysitter?
He does have built-in bababysitters. His daughters.
You've got that. That's the same thing that I had, too. Right? And it's like, deuces, we're going to go on a date. You take care of the boys. We're out of here. It's just just a meal, a quiet meal is all you need. It's just to kind of talk as adults and then come back to the chaos of
we don't need volatile little sleep Kalani. We need well-rested Kalani.
I want 2016 at Utah Kalani after the targeting against Kind. I like that Kalani.
You get that Kalani all the time. That's just Kalani at his best.
E, thanks for the insight. Great stuff.
Appreciate it, man.
My heart was fluttering a little bit when you were talking about the defensive line. You've accomplished what you were
blitz more is what we learned. Yeah.
Blitz more sacks.
He's going to blitz all the time.
I want everybody in the crowd to say, stop blitzing! Back up a little bit.
At that point, it will not become BYU anymore. Yeah, exactly. Okay.